A viewer recently commented and asked about using cardboard in your smoker. I have used cardboard in my smoker. The only thing, it's a good fuel. The only thing about it, the smoke will burn your eyes. So I prefer pine needles, and if you use pine needles, be sure and get it hot right at first, and when you finish with your smoker, be sure and pull the lid off, because the soot will weld it down like steel. I'm not here to look pretty or to make you think I'm more intelligent than I am. I'm here to help you learn from my mistakes, or so you don't make mistakes, and you will enjoy your beekeeping, I hope, a little bit more because of that. And 2 old men helped me when I first started, so I hope I can help you. Quite often people, I've had several people comment that they're going to get 2 or more packages of bees, and how far apart can they have them? Put one of your hives on where it's going to end up being, on the stand. The second hive and subsequent hives go out about 10 to 15 feet and start the second one, and so on. The reason, because if you did like I did when I was in North Carolina, I didn't know better, and I had about 7 hives, and I had them all close together. The next day, all the bees was in one hive, and that was a mess, my friend. So after you've started the bees in your colonies, the second day, you can start moving the second hive about 3 to 4 feet every day toward its final destination. And you can put the hives close together. You can have hives 7 or 8 inches apart. And so if you have any questions on that, let me know. Now, down below, right under the video, is a thumbs up. I ain't going to tell you about the other one, because I don't want you clicking on the other one. Click on that thumbs up, and look here, I'll get a blue ribbon when you do that. And then underneath, you will see a red rectangular bar. It says subscribe. Click on that, and then right beside that is a little bell. But you have to look for it. It's kind of grayed out. And I said a little bell. And you click on that little bell, and the next time I make a video, it will send you an email that I've published a new video. Now, underneath that is a comment area where I commented about this video, and I'm gonna put, there's 2 links I'm gonna put in my comment area, and I'm gonna put one link in there about my 𝘚𝙚𝙀 humor channel, and you click on that, and it will take you to my humor channel, where I have all my funny stories just on that channel. Also, in my comment area, I'm going to put a link to a video, a wonderful video, that very clearly shows you the progress from egg to the bee emerging out of the cell, and you will love it. It's a wonderful video, and of course I want to give credit to whoever made it. Now, people often ask, how do you mix up your sugar? It's real easy to remember. Doesn't matter what size container you use. Fill it half full of sugar, the rest half full of hot water. That's how simple it is to remember that. If you're going to requeen a mean hive, let's say you've got a colony of killer bees, or you've just got a mean colony. If you get your smoker going hot, and get you a little cellophane bag, real small one, and put about 4 tablespoons of ammonium nitrate in that bag and twist it. Put that bag in there on that hot smoker, then put pine needles on top of that. When that ammonium nitrate starts burning, it will start puffing out smoke out like a steam engine. And do not breathe it. It produces laughing gas or sleeping gas. I've done it. Do not breathe it. But it will calm those bees down like little babies. Now, since the Oklahoma bombing, you can't just walk in to a hardware store and buy it. But they tell me you can buy it online, Amazon and online, and it's expensive. But if you get some of that, that will do the trick. Now, in beekeeping, there's a lot of opinions. Beekeepers disagree with me, and that's just life, okay? So there's a lot of variables and factors involved. If you hear someone, I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to say it. If someone gives you some bogus information, and I'm going to give you an example. Ask me or ask someone you trust. Here is an example. Lately, apparently somebody has said use fishing line to wire your horizontal wire on your brood chamber. Okay, you know your brood chamber has vertical wires. It comes to the foundation, and I wire 2 metal wires, only 2 in the center, and then I embed them. Please do not use that fishing line. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it, but I will never try that. That has got to be bogus. It just cannot work. So don't do that. Every colony, I say every colony, colonies can be different. They can be, honeybees are like people. They are so different. One can be productive, one can be lazy. They really can. One can be mean, one can be very gentle. One can produce a lot of propolis, another one may not. So they can be very different. That's why a new beekeeper should get at least 2 colonies. Not 3, but 2. So, and there's other reasons also why. Concerning my last video about catching swarms, I should have emphasized that when you shake a swarm into a container, you need to be completely and fully protected. They will get on your case. Now, I showed you a swarm box. If you can put your hive or that swarm box up next to the swarm, it's their nature. They will start going in there very soon, and it will exponentially increase their going in there. They will march in there. It's beautiful to watch. So, but if you shake them, period, be protected. They'll get on your case. I've had 2 or 3 bad situations. I think I told you that down below in my comment section, I'm going to put a link down there that someone made about the timeline of an egg of honeybee from the time the queen lays it till it emerges out of the cell. And you will love that video. Now, concerning, I have never used an 8-frame hive. Just because somebody sells something doesn't mean it's a good idea or it's good, okay? I don't know. I just, personally, I'm old. I'm 75. I'm stuck in my ways, and maybe somebody else will leave a comment that they like the 8-frame hive. But keep your equipment standard. Don't buy one 8-frame hive and another 10-frame hive. Try to keep your equipment standard. That will be very important. Y'all know what has 4 eyes and can't see? Mississippi. Oh yeah, I thought that was pretty good. Now look, I know I wore this shirt before, but my wife, this was my Christmas present from my darling wife from 52 years ago. She bought this for me about 10 years ago, and I love it. So that's why I'm wearing it again, because I like it. It's possible that you may go into your hive and not see any eggs, and you automatically think you don't have a queen. Often, I have done that, and it was a virgin queen, and I ended up having a good queen. So just because you don't see eggs, don't give up hope. About 5 to 7 days later, go in there again, and it's very possible you may see eggs then. Now, concerning robbing, when there is a good honey flow on, and what we mean by honey flow, that there's a lot of flowers blooming, a lot of blooms, and the bees have sufficient blooms to harvest. During a honey flow, a good honey flow, robbing is not as much a problem, but it can happen. So when you're going through your hive, and when you go through your hive, you probably will set out 1 or 2 frames out in the open. Get you some bed linen, and cut you a sheet. It's bed linen is slick material. It's not like corduroy, or a pillowcase. Don't get your wife's new pillowcase, but cut you a piece, and just those frames that you set outside the hive, cover them up. And also, if I'm working this side of the hive, then I can cover up the other side of the hive and those 2 frames sitting on the outside with one sheet of material. And you do not want to get robbing started. Once robbing gets started, you just cannot stop it. You have to move the hive 2 miles off, and then after 3 days move them back. But here's the bad part about it. Usually the beekeeper realizes robbing has started when it's too late. You don't notice it when it first starts. So do not get robbing started. When you feed your bees, be careful. Don't drip sugar syrup around. Don't be sloppy. All right. I have been. Now, if a beekeeper asks me, a new beekeeper, I would tell them the best way to start is with a package of bees. Not a cot, not a nook. There's nothing wrong with that. But a package of bees. And here's why. They're going to start on foundation. It's going to be nice, pretty, new foundation. Usually, if you order a nook, now I don't mean to be ugly, but do you think that beekeeper's going to put his best frames in there? No. When you start with a package, those bees are going to start on new, fresh foundation. The comb's going to look pretty. But here's the best part. You, as a new beekeeper, you get to grow with that colony. As they get a little larger, they're more gentle when they're smaller. And so that's a plus for you. And so you get to grow with them. As they grow, you grow. And you get to enjoy them. You cannot, once a hive makes up their mind to swarm, you cannot stop them. There's only one way, and I wouldn't say that you stop them, but there's only one way to handle the situation. If a hive is, you go in there and you see several queen cells. They're getting ready to go shopping. And the only way that you can handle the situation is, depending on how many bees is in there, is divide that colony into 2, 3, or 4 colonies. And that way, when the mother queen, if she probably will swarm, excuse me, but she will take very few bees with her compared to if you haven't done anything. So that's that. Now, I don't script my videos, but I do write down subjects, because at my age, I can sure forget. I think I've already did that and that. Now, let me encourage you to down below, you'll see it says add a public comment, and that's kind of hard to find. It's grayed out, and if you don't look carefully for it, you won't see it. But where it says down below, about, I don't know, 7 or 8 inches below the video, it says add a comment. And I want you to, if you have a question, don't think it's silly, don't think it's, hey, everybody's is new on the job at one time or another, and I was. And so, I don't care what question you have, it's my pleasure to help you and answer you, okay? So, please believe that, and don't hesitate to send me a comment, question, or whatever. All right, I was born and raised in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and that's right next to Oklahoma. And my grandpa Durham was on the jury duty of Judge Parker's jury duty, the hanging judge. And Oklahoma was a territory at that time. Old people get off on rabbit trails, if you know what I mean. But I was born and raised up in Fort Smith, and we ended up in Mississippi. And did I tell you, I think I did, what has 4 eyes and can't see? Mississippi. My wife bought me this shirt for my Christmas about 10 years ago, and I love it. That's why I wear it so much. Now, I hope I didn't already tell you that. Anyhow, I was raised up in Fort Smith, and I got 2 dear friends over there, Bubba and Billy Bob. And I mean, tell you, they're good friends. But anyhow, Bubba and Billy Bob called me and told me about this story, and I had to write it down because it was such a long story. But Billy Bob called me and said that he and Bubba went to the Cock and Bull restaurant the other day, and just between me and you, the Cock and Bull really isn't a restaurant. It's more like a honky-tonk, but they do serve food. But they went in the restaurant, and they were sitting at the counter, you know, otherwise called the bar. And this lady was sitting at a table close by, and all of a sudden, Bubba noticed that she was coughing. And she just started acting up terrible, you know. And Bubba went over there, and he said, can you swallow? And she shaked her head no. And he said, can you breathe? And boy, she started turning purple and shook her head no. And Bubba, he stood her up and spun her around, and he pulled up her dress and pulled down her drawers, and he gave her a big lick with his tongue on her buttock. And she got so excited, I reckon the word is, she had violent spasms because he did that, and she that obstruction in her throat just come flying out of her mouth. And so Bubba, she started breathing okay, and so Bubba went back to the counter, and Billy Bob said, "You know, I've heard about that hind lick maneuver, but that's the first time I ever saw it." But I told Billy Bob I sure did appreciate him calling me and sharing that with me. Look here, if y'all have any questions, give me a holler. And if you go on Durham Humor, be sure to click I like and subscribe, because I like them blue ribbons and that bell, okay? Y'all have a good day, and let me know any questions you have. Bye-bye.